In this episode of Feel Good Friday, or in today's case, we could call it Fixed Blade Friday, we're going to be taking a look at 3 fixed blades from my collection that I immediately had to have when I saw them, and they're all over $100. The funny thing is, I haven't used any of them once, so at this point, they're just a novelty. And as you watch this, maybe you'll relate to the fixed blades that you have in your collection that you feel the same way about. We're going to take a look at these. Stick around. Right off the bat, as you're watching this video, I'd love for you to go in the comments section and drop 2 or 3 fixed blades that you had to have, even though they were a little bit more pricey. And maybe they were blades that you bought knowing you wouldn't use them for a while, if at all. This first one is one that I have reviewed in some detail, and it's the SE4 tactical version. Now, this is the double edge SE4. Look at that. This was one of those that I saw it, I didn't even think about it, I bought it. I'm obsessed with this blade type anyway, this type of double edge. I'm not a big dagger fan, but I'm pretty obsessed when I see this particular design. And I paid about 130 some bucks for it. I didn't even think about it. I won't go over the specs in this video. I've already done that with one particular review, but it was the design as a whole. Black and gray is ultimately my favorite color scheme with designs. And I didn't even know that Esee made this kind of design for their 4 version, but this was first on the list and I haven't even done anything with it. I've carried it a few times. Let's take a look at the sheath. Solid material as always with any Esee, locks in there real tight. You can make this upright or scout carry. You can get the SE4 without this double edge on the back, but I do believe these are still out there for sale on Amazon. Some people were telling me they couldn't find it, and as far as I know, it's still out on Amazon. If it is, I'm gonna drop a link in the description for you, but this one is 100% fighting knife, 100% tactical fixed blade, and it's got all the tacticalness that people look for, the color, that double edge, just the look as a whole. Tell me that thing isn't bad to the bone. But I had to have it, didn't think twice about it, dropped it in my cart and hit send. The second fixed blade I had to have that was slightly over $100, I bought it immediately. I didn't think about it. I didn't ponder, I just hit send. And that was the SRK-C in CPM 3V. Now I got this off Midway. Typically, I want to say this thing is $200 and some, but Midway was bringing the deals. And this was a little over $100, just over. Now, as I've said before, some people are mad at me when it comes to the SRK because I did a review a while back talking about how I wasn't the biggest fan of their handles and how extreme torture could knock the handle loose pretty quick. Now, many people misunderstood me. They didn't think that I liked the SRK. I do like the SRK. I just said when it comes to knife throwing or hard chopping or really terrible abusive task, you can loosen the handle. But man, if you just want to hold it and use it for standard things, it doesn't get much more comfortable and attractive than the SRK. I never said I didn't like it. I just said that the handles were a bit of a disappointment if you're going to go the torture test route. I did a review recently on a K-Bar Tonto knife. It was their 1245, I think that's the number. And it's a fixed blade with kind of an over molded handle. It's locked in there tight, and somebody came in my comments yelling at me and they were like, "Throw it and destroy it like you did the SRK and then call it garbage." I was like, come on, man, give me a break. Never called the SRK garbage. I just proved that it couldn't take a lot of extreme testing when it comes to these overmolded handles. Nevertheless, if you keep it in its boundaries, hard to beat a good SRK. As I said, I have yet to do anything with this, but I know that this steel will hold up for whatever task I need. It'll hold its edge retention. There's nothing this thing can't do if I use it for what it's designed and purposed for. And here's the Secure-X sheath that it comes with. Very standard for cold steel. You know, in size comparison, this is very similar in size to the Gerber Strong Arm. The Strong Arm gets compared to the SRK a lot out there on YouTube, but the SRK-C is a little bit closer to the size of the Strong Arm. The regular SRK is significantly bigger. This is pretty close in size. It's about the same size blade. Again, though, I don't want to do another specs review on this, but I will drop the link in the description for you to go out to Midway. I'll also drop the specs as well. I think this is just one of the most attractive blade designs out there when it comes to fixed blades. I just love it. Love that design. The handle is, pretty thin. It lives up to the name of being compact. And I actually prefer this size for everyday carry. Just another one of those blades that I didn't even have to think about. I saw it, I bought it. Last but not least, I saw this one. I had to have it. I didn't have no need for it whatsoever, except I needed it by my side. And that is the Buck 124. Now, I've touched in on the Buck 124 on my channel as of late. A while back, I did a video titled My 2 Favorite Buck Fixed Blades, and this one and the 119 was showcased. But isn't that a beauty? I want to show you how thick this handle is, though. If you don't like a thick handle, it's not for you. But the one thing that sets the 124 apart from the 119, the 120 is the tang does come all the way through, as you can see. You're always going to get that good leather sheath with these Buck knives. The thing about this knife that captured me so much is it just seems to be so many things that I love at one time. It's got that size and power, that USA made prowess, that blade that's got that drop point but yet Bowie type of feel to it at the same time. It just looks like one of those blades that you buy for life. And there's going to come a time when I'm just going to break this out and I'm going to use it. The novelty's going to wear off and I'm going to want to put it to work. But it's just that black handle, that beautiful classic Buck design, so rock solid. And I looked at it and I was like, I got to get this knife now. It was about 175 bucks, but I just didn't care. As a YouTuber who does the kind of content that I do, a lot of knives pass in and out of my hands, and then there are those that just stick. The Esee Tactical, the SRK-C CPM 3V, and the mighty Buck 124 are 3 fixed blades that were over $100 that I had to have this past year. I look back over the last few months, I kind of got into this crave for certain kind of blades, and that's when I snagged all of these, man. And I just wanted to put them on display. I want to end with a question. What are your blades, man? What have you bought recently that you didn't put no thought into? You just had to have it, man. When you saw it, you hit that purchase button. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Take care.